dun dun da dun, da dun dun da dun, da dun dun da dun.
It's too early in the morning for this shit. I know it's late in the morning. It's 10 a.m., Mike. Is it 10 a.m.? Daylight savings time. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. Officially, you never know if the computer's updates, the oven updates, the clock updates. Trump should have just signed. I don't know if he did. I don't pay attention to the news. But, boy, you want to win a lot of voters or some. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. A small thing like that. We're getting rid of daylight savings time. This is fucking stupid. A simple common sense measure like that would win 10% of the vote. Guarantee Vance gets elected next term. Really? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's too early in the morning. I'll wake up, have my coffee in bed because I've earned it. And it's just, I understand the social media has turned, it's degraded. All your social media, and including YouTube, has degraded into the Jerry Springer Show. I'm unsubscribing to a bunch of these channels now that originally started out as really good and interesting, and now it's just, oh, shock, oh. Disney bankrupt. And the number of times I've heard Disney is bankrupt, although their stock price is tanking. That's all gone to shit. I expect that from social media. But then when it comes to these old, established, and admittedly just rank leftist organizations like NPR or CNN or BBC, okay, I expect them to be biased to the left because you are inferior people. You are. You're lazy people who didn't want to do math. You got in because you had the right political ideology. You don't give a fuck about empiricism or reality. You're just a bunch of self-important, low IQ assholes. And you are. All of you. It's one thing to be stupid. It's another thing to be unethical. But fine. Okay. But I know that. But under the banner of a previously respected and professional organization, I don't expect the clickbaity articles. See, because now I got to figure out, all right, at least you people would have some standards, right? You don't have any journalistic integrity in terms of how you spin something or a narrative you promote. You are an arm of the socialist various political parties of the world. I expect that from you. But then NPR doesn't do lowbrow shit, right? You guys would not lower yourself to Jerry Springer shit. And here's an article from the BBC. I'll read you the title. Women share their bittersweet experience after taking weight loss drugs. I got a question then. It's one of two things. Either the BBC is now lowering itself to the clickbait Jerry Springer gossip trash, or this is a real world phenomenon, or it's more real world, right? I write it off as TikTok girl jibber jabber trash, gossip, filth. The BBC, for whatever reason, their editor says, no, this is important. So is this article then what you're reporting on? Women not being happy after losing weight, which is what the article's inevitably going to be based on my quick perusal of it. That's big enough to make it to the BBC. This is an authentic trend or thing that really affects it. It's not Jerry Springer. You mean what I thought was Jerry Springer is actually the real fucking world? I'm so tired of it, man. We just had International Women's Day. It was very muted. I think the social media people and women in general realize the world is sick and tired of hearing how fucking great you are. I don't know if the editor got the memo or not. Oh, women aren't happy. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. I don't care. The article is about women who lost a lot of weight through drugs, of course, because you're too fucking lazy to go hit the gym and do it the right way. That aside, you lost the weight. Like you girls should be doing backflips that they created a drug. Men, probably, I'm sure 1 or 2 women were involved, but men created the drug now that gave you your dream fucking come true. You don't have to work out. You take this pill and the fat falls off. Right? This, like, we cured cancer. Leave it to you women to bitch about cancer being cured. I lost the weight, but there's a bittersweetness to what is your fuck? Ladies and gentlemen of the global court of public opinion, I present to you Exhibit A. Women will never be happy, and we should stop fucking listening to them. Serious. Slowly starting to realize why. I'm like, yep, we got to do a Good Morning Coronachan on this. Why should anyone care what you women think now? Why? A serious question. I want right down below, leftists, feminists, you're all allowed to make comments below. I welcome it, because not that I don't appreciate the comments from my audience, but we're all kind of on the same team here. I am intellectually interested in why the fuck don't you stop bitching? I am not married. I don't have a ring on this finger. I never signed up for this shit, but it's like I'm married. You're right. Aaron, you don't have to read the article. You're right. I don't. But the articles in the news where you get it is not 100% accurate representation of what it is real world on the ground in the real world. But it's the only thing I got to know, like, okay, how am I going to interact with people? Whether it's buying a stock or moving, career choices, or interacting with half of the population. I want to know, will there ever be a day you women don't complain? And it is a fair point to make. A lot of the women out there are saying, well, hey, it's not us complaining. We're not, it's the BBC. And you're right. So that's why I'm throwing it to the leftists and the journal and the journalists and someone from the BBC about who wrote this. Let's look this up. Grace Dean, BBC News. And I think we're going to find out if the BBC is, I know it's leftist, but are you now just going to gossip? Are you the Daily Mail now, BBC? Grace Dean writer, BBC. Okay, some young idiot. I can't say. Oh, it looks like she's a freelance journal, which means unemployed, which means writing for free, because she's working Business Insider, all the washed up former. No, I'm not signing up for LinkedIn. All right, it looks like a 25-year-old liberal white woman. I'm a journalist. No, I'm not logging in. Tell me about this person. No, I'm not going to log in to see what this person, I don't have to. Grace Dean's profile, this BBC journalist. And yeah, here's a young idiotic child. She looks like a skinny boy. Sorry, you do. Just look, lady, shut the fuck up. Oh, she, her, of course. I expect it to be biased to the left. Are you a gossip columnist? Are you a journalist, Grace, or are you a gossip columnist? And who is the fucking editor that let this through? This reminds me of The Economist. The Economist used to be my favorite publication. It was the only publication I read. The only one I ever subscribed to. Go back to the late 90s and the early 2000s. It was a phenomenal magazine. The pinnacle of journalism and writing, I would say. Right? You want to see you wonder why, Aaron, you're a pretty good writer. How did you flunk out of English in the 7th grade? It's like, well, I read The Economist. I really got a polish on my own writing, reading The Economist. Just some brilliant writing from back then. And then it went NPR. Then it endorsed Obama twice because they became whores. You became whores. Fine, you probably had your subscription go up because you talk gossipy, low IQ, lowbrow NPR 102 IQ bullshit. But you lost your integrity. The Economist is no longer a revered magazine. And here, the BBC. I understand you're going to be a leftist. I get it. But apparently you're now going to go, what are we going to watch? Married with Children? Watch Jerry Springer Show? We're going to watch Storage Wars? What lowbrow trailer trash filth shall we read from you, BBC, now? Lover of long walks, always drinking tea. She, her. What's your degree? Do I even need to know? Look at all Yahoo, all this Yahoo shit. So, lady, all you got to do is write Yahoo. You don't have to Yahoo Finance Singapore, Yahoo Finance Deutschland. You don't have to pad your resume. You're a fucking no one, right? If I look you up on Twitter, do you have more Twitter subscribers than me? I know it's not the end all be all of measurements, but you, being in the field, should have more subscribers than me. Former editor, Courier Online. I want to know what her degree is. Tech Radar. Freelance. There you go. Freelance writer. Hang on. Here is Grace Dean, Twitter. How many subscribers, baby? 1,200. 1,200. See, now we don't know. At one time, you could kind of rely on news sites, newspapers to provide you the news. Okay, this is important. We should run with this story and not this one. Is it because you got the internet you can run with anything now? And now I have to question not the political integrity, no, we know you're biased, but the importance integrity of the BBC. Will you stop giving childish adult people platforms to write slop? There was the LA Times had some idiot nobody writing an article about how Sunday drives were an example of white privilege. Why? I guess, this is what happens when there's no competition. You socialists, you want there to be no competition and everything's owned equally. This is what happens when there's no competition. People just generate filth. They generate crap. You have unlimited money at the BBC, right? They just get government financing. So why do we have to write anything good? No, we could pay some 24-year-old idiot to write about her fee-fees. I don't know. The philosophical point comes in. Look, if it's ran on the BBC, then it's not our job to second guess, well, does this reflect the real world? That's their job. And if this is what you're going to say the real world is like, that a bunch of women are whining and complaining all the time, even after they lose the weight. What again, I want to know, is what I'm trying to figure out. Will you girls ever be happy? I don't mean permanently. That's not possible. But is there a moment in time where there will come an article or a day where girls like, oh my God, I can't believe it. My dreams come true. I can pursue my one true love. That's being a lazy, slothful, gluttonous piece of shit who eats all the time and doesn't work out. But I can still be thin. Right? Isn't that even, I mean, I'm being deadly serious about that. Isn't that more deserving of celebration in the world of Western women than ending cancer? Right? If you had the choice, end cancer. I am 100% serious about this question. Ladies, what would you rather have? A world where you could end cancer, all right? Or a world where you could just eat and lie around and still be thin and attractive? See, I know what the politically correct answer is, but deep down inside, when you're in the voting booth, I bet you would vote for gluttony and sloth. I bet you would. I bet you wouldn't even be close. I bet you'd be like 75, 85% pro, I can be a gluttonous pig now. And maybe 10 to 15% of you like, hey, yeah, cancer's pretty bad. Let's be real here. For realsies now. Let's go through this article. Women share their bittersweet experience after taking weight loss drugs. When Brenisha Cooper was overweight, she felt both invisible and like she stood out. Her friends would get attention where they were out together while she was overlooked, but she also had the sense that everyone was staring at her, scrutinizing her. Here, look, can you do me a favor, This is just under BBC. This isn't under, like, female lifestyle. Can you put this under female lifestyle so at least we know this is 80% bullshit? Everyday scenarios were daunting. Fairground rides, would she fit in the seat? That's... Are you really asking this as a serious question? Grace, are you really asking this as a serious question? Like, there's not an objective answer. You're fat and you should be ashamed for your own health and for you don't fit in rides at the fairground. Working out, would it hurt? Clothes shopping, would you find attractive clothing in her size? Oh, you girls. Guys, there was a lady I had a request last night. She wants to know if she should offer classes that essentially lie to women to make money. And I said, run with it. Let's see what happens, because there wasn't a lot of upfront cost. Then there's this one. Okay, Cairo Copeland's book, Riches from Bitches, How to Make Money Lying to Women. It's more exploiting the she economy for profit. I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of you girls complaining. I'm tired of the whining. I'm tired of nothing will ever make you happy. I'm tired. Stop. The reason you whine and complain is because you want someone else to do something about it. I'm tired of the absence of responsibility. Where I'm a fat pig who can't fit in a fairground ride. Will these clothes make me look attractive? There's no such thing as someone being fat, male or female, wearing attractive clothes. It doesn't matter what you wear. And the fact you have at least a logo or a brand name like the BBC lending whatever dwindling authenticity you have to such absurd, idiotic, totally lacking in self-awareness slop is an indication that the BBC should, it's just fuck off. You already weren't listening to because you're biased to the left. That doesn't mean you don't pick up some other things that are apolitical that we might like. I like NPR Money Planet. I do. I like that. But now I got to wonder, is there anything that you report on that's real? And by association, I have to sit here and listen to this bullshit that somehow there's a problem that someone who chooses to be overweight, it's a societal problem. She doesn't fit in the fairground rides. It's a societal problem. Like, will society make clothes for this girl that she'll be attractive in? It must be nice to be a Western woman in a first world economy. It must be really nice. At the end of 2022, Bernicia, now 28 and working in Texas for a major retailer, began using weight loss injection Mounjaro. She's lost about 6 stone, 38 kilograms, which is, I believe, that's 80 pounds, 2.2 kilograms or pounds per kilogram times 38. 83.6 pounds. She lost a lot of weight. Good for her. Things changed quickly. Suddenly, she could exercise without her body getting sore. Colleagues made more small talk with her, and she felt comfortable going on adventurous dates with her boyfriend. She was go-karting, dancing, and going to arcades, activities that previously made her feel self-conscious. So at this point in time in our story, this would be a celebration, right? Ignore the fact she should have just dieted and exited. Let's just ignore that, okay? Let's look at this. Dare I say it, if we look it up, it was probably the white man that created this drug with the help of others, maybe some Asian men. Might have been one or two, but how much you want to bet if we look up Mounjaro, they might have been disproportionately white males. Forget who, it could have been made by anyone, all right? Not really, we know who made it. But it's irrelevant to the point I'm trying to make. You have a magic fucking pill. Right, Bernicia? You got here it is. It's magic. Your problem is solved. And now things change quickly. Suddenly she could exercise without her body getting sore. Colleagues made more small talk with her, and she felt comfortable going on adventurous dates with her boyfriend. She was go-karting, dancing, going arcades, activities that previously made her feel self-conscious. I would also say you expanded your life expectancy by at least 15 years, right? Are we happy? Are we thankful? Thank you, people who created Mounjaro. Thank you, company that sells it. No, but despite feeling like she had a second chance at life, weight loss was bittersweet. Fuck you. And now comes the part where women just cannot be happy. What is there to complain about? You at this point, you have to be looking for problems to bitch and whine, which now brings up another question in my mind. Is this what you get off on? Do you get a stimulation, not happiness? Do you get some kind of stimulation finding something that's wrong? And I'm going to use this as evidence to every man out there, guys. Just stop it. Just stop it. There is no making them happy. I'm not even talking in a romantic sense or a romantic relationship. I got to do this. I'm never wearing this shirt doing this podcast again. The journalist, who is obviously a feminist, does not realize just what a bad light this article paints women in. She does not realize how much she's setting women back with this article. This is showing women to be, and not all women are like this. That's why I'm pointing out this article. I want comments in the section below from women, leftist, feminist or not. You're making women look like petulant little children, insufferably spoiled, ungrateful brats. I know they're not all like this. I run into the occasional woman at times. But this is reflective not just of the journalism major, because this person, let's just admit it, is an NPC. This is not someone who's got a brain. But the BBC is running with this. How dumb are you guys at the BBC to be painting women in this light? That would be a question for the editor. You let this go through. Or is it just a perpetual whining and complaining victimhood strategy to get, oh my God, we're always oppressed. We need more money, more of us all. We got a magic pill and it saved my life and I can go out now and I can, that's so, there's a dark side. You want to know, maybe your average man on the street doesn't connect the dots as detailed as I am here. Right? A lot of it is just your brain is doing like, I don't trust this person. Something's wrong. But you want to know why men aren't helping out women anymore? It's shit like this. It's shit like this. I don't help out people unless, all people, I don't help out people unless I know them. I sure the fuck am not pulling over to help out a girl with her car. Unless it's an older lady, you know, I mean older. She needs a walker or something. Okay, I'll walk the old lady to the car. I'll open the old door for the old lady. But I'm not walking to your car. I'm not doing the good guy thing anymore. I'm just not. It's not my responsibility. It's not. Until I start seeing other articles come out showing responsibility and thankfulness and gratitude, or I don't know, just silence. You wonder why aren't men X? Because nothing makes you happy. Every interaction with another person, you do it hopefully to get joy and fun. Friendships, romance, or I guess maybe when it comes to business, it's profit. Maybe not so much fun, but it's profit. There's a productive goal or aim at the end of it. And the sexes being dichotomous, I think that's a word, binary, let's say. In nature, men are going to have a sexual general baseline interest in women, or they'll at least be in the background. And if nothing makes you happy, there's like nothing can make you happy. Guys just go walk away. I don't know why men aren't asking. I don't know. Men are divesting from you because there's no joy to be gotten from it. None. Men are becoming very shrewd, very precise, very, very finicky, and not irrationally so. They're not being pessimistic. It's shit like this. Like, my God, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, and still nothing. A lot of you say, you got to have the dark triad. You got to push them away. Yes, you're right. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I just wanted to show. I looked at this. I'm like, oh, my God. This is why you have GDP slowing down. This is why you have dropping labor force participation rates. Once women are not what's the word I'm looking for? Once a successful, however you want to define that, relationship with a woman is ascertained to be a certain level of statistical improbability, men will withdraw because It's a rate of return, an expected rate of return. If it drops below too far of a percent, they're going to back out. And an article like this just throws on more evidence that lowers that expected rate of return. Now, this isn't going to lower male labor force participation rate by a full point or anything like that, but it's particularly bright. It's a particularly bright star in the sky right now. Like, is that hypernova? Is that a supernova over there? What's going on? Why? That is particularly stupid. Guys are just gonna be like, fuck it, man. Reach yours on. I gotta go to the anything but this. But despite feeling like she had a second chance at life, weight loss was bittersweet. It was almost like I had stepped into a different world overnight. Yeah, better one, Bernicia recalls. People were suddenly more friendly, more attentive. I was given opportunities of respect that didn't exist before. And the problem is that rapid shift was jarring and really opened my eyes to just how deeply size bias is ingrained in our culture. Fuck all of you. It's not, yeah, you're right. It is a bias. It's a bias against fat, ugly, unhealthy people that no one wants to fuck. There. Did I make that clear enough for you Brits? You need me to dump some tea into a harbor to make it really sting? This is what you focus on. Oh my God. Did you know men are attractive to physically attractive women? The horrors. This is where we can't be happy. This is where you're going to go bang your head against the wall. Why is this wall not moving? Why do men, oh my God, it's so bad. Men like what they like. We need to regenetically engineer them. I'm going to complain about the sky being blue. She continues, psychologically, it was a lot to process because while I was the same person, the way I was perceived had completely changed. Yes. Yes. See, now, if you had gone through the process yourself of working out, dieting, and sacrificing, that would have built character, and you would have had more relatability to your fellow man, woman included. Like, oh, wow, to achieve things takes effort. And look at what that person, oh my God. You know, like when I see especially an old time guy like PD McGon, like, you see an older man at the gym and he's in shape, man, you got a lot of respect for that. Man, look at that guy over there. He's fighting his age and he's still succeeding. I remember hiking Sandia Peak one time. It's over in New Mexico. Atham, look it up. And I was going up. And I was going to take the trolley down. And I'm going up. And here comes this old time dude. He had to be in his 70s, but the guy was wiry, right? Just muscular and wiry. And I said, morning constitutional? He says, yep, every morning. The dude goes up and down the fucking peak every fucking morning. Hell yeah. Now, with that kind of caliber and work ethic, what other interesting things does that mind and that man do? Right? You popped the pill. That's like, oh my God, because you didn't change as a human being. Physically you did, but mentally you didn't. You're still the same lazy sack of shit you were before. Oh my God, did you know that people treat you differently when you're physically attractive? Oh my God, it's like the human race wants to perpetuate itself. Except for one half. I won't mention which half that is. I don't want to hurt too many people's feelings. Weight loss transformations are nothing new. In the 90s and the aughts, they filled the pages of tabloid papers like I love how the BBC says in tabloid newspapers, like you guys, sold celebrity diet regimens and inspired popular TV series like The Biggest Losers, You Are What You Eat, and Celebrity Fit Club. But in the 2020s, the advent of weight loss injections like semaglutide and tirzepatide, marketed under brand names Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, has meant people can lose huge amounts of weight rapidly without undergoing invasive surgery or working out. Oh my God. What cowardly little bitches you are at the BBC. Without undergoing invasive surgery? You mean without work and diet and exercise? You want to talk about this is a great article. Someone should mark this as pure propaganda, pure feel-good propaganda. You're maintaining the perfect mental state, right? It's not your fault you're a fat pig. No, it just happened. I got struck by the fat lightning, and now I'm fat forever. Look at the. I think it's an unfair criticism where they just blanket say women avoid responsibility and agency, right? There's the meme of the girl dodging the balls. This is accountability, responsibility, agency. But articles like this sure do show it, right? Again, I know many women who do take agency and responsibility. But it seems a lot, man, you got a religion of just avoiding responsibility here, especially on the left. The jabs suppress people's appetites, causing them to feel fuller sooner. Wegovy has been available on the NHS in England, Wales, and Scotland since September 2023 with strict eligibility criteria, but weight loss drugs are expected to become more accessible when Mounjaro becomes available through NHS England later this year. The jabs, which are not suitable for everyone and can have severe side effects, are also available from pharmacies in the UK for people who can't get them prescribed by the GPs. Well, if you don't need prescription, why would you even bother going to the general practitioners? So other than the physical difference, how does the way you're perceived change when you lose weight quickly and look different to the world? Oh, here comes more whining and complaining, right? People who have used the injections have told the BBC News that rapid weight loss has caused a massive shift in the way they are treated. No kidding. Can I just summarize this that people want to fuck you now? Is that it? Was there anything else? Both strangers and loved ones, as well as changing how they approach their lives. Strangers are a lot more chatty. Bernice's feeling of sticking out and being overlooked at the same time while overweight is one others can relate to. When you're overweight, people either avoid eye contact or really stare and glare at you, says Jessie Phillips, 29, a primary school teacher from Sittingbourne, Kent. She previously felt uncomfortable taking flights, traveling on public transportation, and eating at restaurants. Finding suitable seating worried her, as well as the feeling she was taking other people's space. You were. People shouted fat at her from cars at a festival. Yeah, so they cared about you. Those were your friends. Now your BFFs, they're, you're beautiful. Oh, you look great with your new skirt. Those were your real friends that shouted fat to you. A trip in 2023 to Sorrento on the Italian coast was a major catalyst for starting weight loss injections last June. Yeah, not hitting the gym or losing weight, right? None of that shit. Everyone was staring at me the whole time, she says. They're just not used to people being that big out there. Oh, and you got your tattoo and your nose piercing. Fuck you. No, fuck you. You got all the markings of a lazy person who doesn't want to work. That's it. You're lazy, and you could, as I said before, you could take the pill. You can lose the weight. You're still lazy. You're still not going to major in something hard. You're still not going to work at something. You're not going to toil, and you're going to mar your body with fucking adornments and paintings. Hey, this means it meant a lot to me when I went through my journey to walk down and get the mail. Some dumbass shit like that. I don't care what comes out of your mouths. I don't. I'm going to look at you and say, yeah, I am judging you the way you look. I don't have to waste my time or mental energy listening to sophist arguments that are intellectually dishonest, only designed to protect your egos and feelings and your laziness. I'm just looking at you people now. I look at David Hogue. I'm like, yeah, there's a kid who doesn't want to work. Then I look at Harry Sison. There's another weak guy. A lot of daddy's money, a lot of connections. No, I'm not going to vouch. I'm not discussing anything. Destiny, I'm not having conversations with these people. You're a fucking freak with blue hair. You look like a freaking idiot. No, I'm not listening to you. Well, that's highly unfair. My strengths are my intellect. No. You're all leftists. You're all lazy. It's all free shit. Since losing weight, Jess has noticed a big difference in how she's treated in public. Yeah, you're not an eyesore. You're not revolting. You're probably just being treated normally. Strangers seem to be a lot more chatty with me than they were even before. She explains she feels more invisible in a nice way. She continues, I don't feel like people are looking at me when I go to different places. I feel nicely anonymous. Yes, that's people just don't care. I mean, they don't hate you. They're not looking at you like a freak show. I'm not standing out in a particular way. This is something that Janine A. Gailey. How come there's no men? Are there going to be any men who you're going to interview? I bet not. Jeannie A. Gailey, sociology professor at Texas Christian University, explored in her 2014 book, The Hyper Invisible Fat Woman. My argument is that those who are marginalized, including fat people, become hyper invisible and hyper visible and hyper invisible. Oh, you got paid money to study this shit, lady? Hey, do you really? God Christ. We need like a legit economic collapse and world war or something. Or okay, back to brass tacks. No, you're not studying that. No, there's no sociology programs anymore. You're gonna go work in the fields, or we all die. Meaning they're sometimes ignored and sometimes made into a spectacle, she tells the BBC. Amy Toon, 34, content creator. Okay, and again, lazy. Some solo hole felt this way. Before starting on drugs, she shopped online because the overwhelming fear of people looking at me. She says, I just didn't want to leave the house. I'm confused. I have a question. Yes, you, sir, in the back. Stupid question, sir. Ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. How many of you were, I don't need now, and I'm beautiful the way I am. I'm beautiful on the inside. How many of you were like that? And now, why would you take the drugs? I want to know if we look through all their social media posts, all the conversations. I don't need no, I'm strong. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful the way a big is beautiful. What happened to big is beautiful? What's going on here? I'm confused. Since losing weight, people are a lot more smiley and just make eye contact, she says. I never had that before. It's really strange. It's also really sad at the same time. No, it is what it is. Look, lady, you could go back to being fat. No one's stopping you. Go. So sad. People like physically attractive people. Oh my God. Is your goal to make everyone feel the way you want them to feel? That's going to be a hell of a life. A hell of a life that's wasted. I mean, you could take their money, right? But you're not going to force people to find what you want attractive. That's hardwired genetics. I bet you there are. Yeah, they actually think, beauty is a social construct. I dated this girl who was a 9. She's like, men are just conditioned to like these things. You got to try not to get angry, right? Because it just it's not even your thought. They're just rebuking your genetics and your hardwiring and shaming you for it as well. You just got to realize people like that are going to be fucking miserable their entire lives. Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you have fun wasting your entire life in academia trying to convince society and men that they should like fat, ugly women. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I'm going to go fishing and I'm going to go find some skinny Asian girl or something, but I'm not sitting here watching you. I'm not going to listen to you. You only like girls with big boobs because that's what you're conditioned to do. You're right. You're right. You should get a PhD in theater. Society has preconceptions about how overweight people are expected to behave and treats them accordingly. So, says Caleb Luna, an assistant professor at the University of Santa Barbara, California, specializing in fat studies. Fuck you. I want somebody fire Caleb and save the taxpayer of California some money. Fat people are expected to hide and shrink themselves and not be proud, says Professor Luna. Yeah. Weight isn't a projected characteristic in the US, in the UK, or in most parts of the world, meaning it isn't illegal to discriminate based on size, except if the person's weight is classed as a disability. Academics say that anti-fat bias can have significant implications from how people are perceived in job interviews and how doctors interact with them. Well, I think doctors have to interact with you a little bit differently because obesity is directly threatening your health. Are you that fragile? Are your feelings so important? It's more important than your life. Is it, ladies? I'm saying, ladies, I'm waiting for a guy to be quoted here. So doctors shouldn't tell you the truth about the risks of obesity. Ladies and gentlemen, exhibit B, that women will never be happy and people are delusional. I know someone in the medical profession, and this person is frustrated with fat people, all women, because she works in a women's clinic. They want the Ozempic. They want to lose the weight. They want to, and she'll say, "Hey, this is bad for you. Why don't you diet and exercise?" And now is inevitably giving up. Here's some information about some lifestyle diet choices. Here's some information. I'm like, good, good, good. She's learning. She's letting go and not caring anymore because they don't care about themselves. Excellent. I, how spoiled are you that you are complaining that doctors are trying to save your lives? That's how precious your feelings are, huh? Huh? Okay. Gee, I wonder why men aren't pulling over to help out women with their cars. People make all kinds of personality assumptions about other people based on their body size, according to Professor Luna, and they're right. They're right. You're lazy. Yep. I don't understand why there's this rage that some people seem to feel upon looking at someone who's overweight, says Alex Harvey, 35-year-old marine biologist from Plymouth who lost around 3 stones, 20 kilos, that's 50 pounds after starting weight loss injections last year. It's socially acceptable to hate fat people. Here she is. You got the looks. This is a leftist. This is someone who probably, if I looked her up, doesn't have a real job. You don't understand this. Oh, marine biologist lost around 20 after weight loss injections. It's socially acceptable to hate fat people. I don't think people hate fat people. They just don't care. They find you repulsive. They find you unattractive. That doesn't mean they hate you. There's a difference. But what do you care, lady, right? Why? I want to ask Alex, if it is her name. Why do you care what people think? Why'd you take the drugs? I'd like to know in the comments below if she ever were to find this video. You seem to be the strong, independent female type, right? You're a professional. What do you care if people, right? Big is beautiful, right? Did those words ever come out of your mouth? Do you despise fat shaming? Well, then fight, sister. Why'd you take the drug? People see the drugs as cheating. Weight loss drugs have helped people like Bernicia, Jess, Amy, and Alex lose weight, but they're not right for everyone. Some in the healthcare industry have concerns about the wrong people getting hold of the jabs, including those who are already healthy weight or have a history of eating disorders. Common side effects of semaglutide and tirzepatide include diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting, according to the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence. Rare side effects include acute gallstone disease and pancreatitis. And ANH warns that there is also a risk of hypoglycemia, which I don't know what that is, which happens when your blood sugar drops too low. Anything to avoid the gym and dieting, right, ladies? Anything. And let me guess, ladies, you're doing it for yourselves. You're not doing it to attract a man, right? Right? You're all leftists. I know that. I can see it in your eyes and based on your choices. You're all leftists, right? So you're not doing it for men, right? You better not be doing it for you, doing it for yourself. Well, if you're doing it for yourself, why were you happy the way you were before? This fucking nightmare of this path that it's chasing the white dragon. Women chasing happiness is chasing the white dragon. You're never going to get it. Jonathan Pinkney, professor of endocrinology and diabetes. All right, so here's a real person with a real degree. Oh, it's a guy. Endocrinology, that's real. And diabetes at the University of Plymouth says, while there are great expectations of hope around the drugs, trials show people tend to relapse after they stop taking them. You can't even take the pill, man. You can't even just take a pill. Honest to God. I mean, the weight loss isn't sustained. Alex says this worries her. Am I going to be treated differently again? Yes. Because I like the way I'm currently being. Then why'd you take the drugs? Was it Stone that if left to their own devices, they will self-destruct? Was it Ryan Stone that said that? A lot of people see it as the lazy way out. Amy said it is the lazy way out, which is that's fine. I'm not disagreeing with that. It's the least. It's not the healthiest way out. Amy says, referring to comments about weight loss drugs left on her social media videos. For sustained weight loss, the injections need to be used as part of a healthy lifestyle. Including a balanced diet and regular exercise. People think that it's a magic wand, then it's not, Amy says. It just doesn't melt the fat away. Even if you inject yourself once a week and a pound a week just evaporate from your body, what would that matter? Lexa say, why is that cheating? Well, because it is cheating. Look, all of human history is cheating. All technological advances is cheating. Typically, men unlock the laws of physics and chemistry and in bits and pieces increasingly enslave nature and physics to do our bidding for us, right? The combustion engine, solar panels, and in this case, drugs. That's all pharmaceuticals is mastering chemistry, biology. They're like, hey, this thing will make our lives easier. It's cheap. Look, you want to take the drug, go ahead. I'm just saying it is an indication of a laziness of the person and the individual. And the article here is, okay, here's this great magic pill, but we're still upset that society has these opinions about us. This is a discussion about the lack of character of modern people, in this particular case, women. Okay. There are other criticisms, and predictably, this article was only about women. There's not a single guy mentioned here. It's a question to humanity is, are you ever, I understand, to elongate our life expectancies and make our lives easier. We want to have kind of things as easy as possible. But in order to become interesting human beings, there must be some challenge and suffering. There must be some work. There must be some sacrifice. There must be some innovation. There must be a creativity. There must be just defending, going to war. That's what makes humans interesting, is doing the hard thing, even if you don't have to. And that creates interesting people, which makes all of our lives a lot better. You young people wonder why you're so sad and lonely. It's because your people have not suffered. They've suffered enough in a way of not suffering. Everything's so easy. So everyone's universally depressed and sad. Everyone's universally fat and lethargic and soy boy. So there's a suffering in that way, but it's the classic choose your suffering. Suffer where it's the guy who's fat, and then suffer where the guy that's jacked. There's production and character building at the end of the laborious suffering. But that's why there's nothing interesting. Cappy, would you date a younger gal? What's your problem today, sweetheart? Dad, they cut me off my credit card. That's too bad. Really, what's the problem? They're not bailing me out of my student loans. Trump. That's think about that. At the forefront of many young people's minds is how much they hate Trump and how Trump is ruining their lives. It's like, have you thought not being dependent on the government and supporting yourself? Really? If you had a job, what do you care? That's a suffering life due to life being on easy mode. And yeah, that's my point here. Okay, you took the pill. You're still, oh, wow, tattoos and a nose ring, and you're a teacher. Oh my God, are you a pointless human being? Why would anyone talk to you? What is there to form a relationship with, to love, whether it's friendship or romantic? What is there to love? What is there to invest in as a fellow human being, a human mind? And oh my God, did you really, what is it? This society won't love me for just the way I am. Well, because you're not a human being. You haven't been, you haven't experienced, you haven't endured. Does that make sense? You just existed. Now, the marine biologist, oh, okay, there's some interesting there. Tell me about that. right? Well, but you're a teacher. Get the fuck out. I'm an influencer. And the person who wrote it, your journal. There's some cactuses out in the desert in Arizona that are more interesting to talk to than you, sweetheart. Even if you did, you basically can't win, she says, referring to the stigma attached to being both overweight and using injections to lose weight because you're a lazy person at the end of the day. That's it. The larger me deserved that same attention and love. Oh, here we go. People who've lost weight use the jabs to tell the BBC their self-confidence have massively improved. Many say they feel much happier to take trains and planes. Some say they now wear brighter colors and tighter clothes. Others say they're more vocal, sharing their opinions at work. Why are you sharing your opinions at work? Amy says she now feels comfortable taking her children swimming, while Jess says she's been able to book her first ever ski trip, something thought she'd never do possible. I actually think it must be annoying how confident I am at the moment, Jess laughs. No, you're not. You're not irrationally confident. You just go out and have some fun. But many of the women, not men, well, couldn't you find any men? What happened to the men? Shocking. We're left feeling sad for the previous selves or frustrated at the unfairness of their past. Oh, why can't society love fat, ugly people that no one wants to fuck? You're going to die early. It's so sad that your weight can define you, Amy said. Yeah, part it does. Really sad. Just like men's height, right? I haven't changed at all as a person. The only thing that has changed is my appearance. Right. You haven't changed as a person. Bernice echoes those thoughts. It makes me sad when I have experiences that are different now because the larger me deserved that same attention and love. No. If you deserved it, you would have got it, right? You all keep thinking the world is this NPC world that everyone's got to react and interact with you the way you think. You think you're in a video game. Those are other human beings that have their own thoughts, minds, and preferences, and they will act accordingly. Renisha says, being smaller now makes me sad for my former self because people looked at me differently. You will never be happy. Oh, let's go to the super chats and stay on top of these. I got another article. Rashil Patel, $5. Funny story. When I was walking in my car from class, I heard a Black and Asian chick say how they want to be alone and they don't want men. Fine. Their wish is being granted. Emilio Obing, regular guy here, $5. Thank God we got to learn from the last generation of men not being able to please women. The matrix is breaking in real time. Emmanuel, you're not wrong. Thinking Ape, which I strongly recommend you all tune into, unless he is much more precise and clear in his words. In other words, for every minute you listen to him, you're going to get more information than you would my channel. I mean, I meander and talk. I go on tangents. He gives, I wouldn't even call them speeches. He gives reports, very good reports with logic and empiricism. And a while ago, 2-3 years ago, he was talking about how there's no red pill rage anymore with the younger generation, of which I presume, although I'm looking at that picture with those lapels, are you my age? That looks 80s, man. Maybe early 90s. And kind of the hue of the picture there, it was taken with a real camera, wasn't it? Anyway, the younger generations, the men aren't got the red pill rage because they know. There's not that false hope in the lie. So they're not spinning their wheels and they're saving their time at least and probably money in the process. Yeah, the internet and girls' desire to emote like that article I read and I think they really thought if they acted in unison like a cartel or a union and you told you men what we're going to have and you better look out, backed up by all the digital yet not real interest they had for men. I really think they want to put up this front as a means to bargain as a group, like a cartel. Like, we're not giving you any of this unless you pay. And now men are looking like, yeah, I literally cannot pay that price. And your behavior is atrocious. If we go through that article, these women are not evil or anything. But if you look at their behavior, like how spoiled, how untethered from the real world, how impossible it is to make that. They go and they try and find something. And I lost all this weight. Magic pill. Things are great now. But I'm still sad. Guys like, dude, it's the great quote from Top Gun. Hey, Mav, I don't care if we get in first place. I just hope we graduate. Men are like, man, I don't care about having a family and children. I just want to live a life where I'm not starving. Is that about right for you people under 35? Because that's where I was. I didn't have the time to worry about. I mean, yeah, I would chase women. I would like one. Yeah, and I got some. But if push came to shove, I got to eat, man. What do you want in life? In order to have a life, I need food, clothing, and shelter. And it needs to be I need a stable income to get that. I can't be getting fired or let go or lectured and criticized every time a loan comes in that's bad. I can't have boomer boss instability. I can't have the dot-com bubble and the housing bubble and the second tech bubble always constantly undermine and threaten. It's hard enough to get food, clothing, and shelter. Those first two layers, three technically, two in particular, of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I need that cemented. It cannot be sand. It needs to be not only cemented, but dried cement with rebar in it. And then I can fucking focus on women. And you're trying to make this standard foundation that you could build the rest of your life on. And it's hard. And people keep chiseling away or water washes it away or whatever. And then the women come on top of it. Well, if you ever get that strong fella, you bet it is, you bet it that. We're gonna cry. And then you all wonder why, man, like, fuck it, I'm staying here. Level 3 of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'm going to hang out with my buzz, but I got my precious concrete foundation. It is not being washed away by anything. And I sure the fuck ain't going to risk a divorce where you're going to drill a fucking hole, drop some dynamite in it, blow it up, and send me back to square one, back to the first level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abso-fucking-lutely not. And we got the internet. It's waking you boys up. And you girls are not providing any positive reinforcement or motivation for these guys to pursue you in any serious capacity. I don't want the astroturf trad thought bullshit. I am waiting for sincere, real life women to start providing a positive reinforcement for men to invest further in those higher levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, not for my bad. I've already got mine. I'm just watching society-wise. And it has to be in the real world because the internet's all going to be negative. If it's good, like, oh my God, I love men so much. You look at that like, yeah, you're a trad thought. It's for money. In the real fucking world. And the best proxy I got for that is watching the online dating data come in. Just how few dates are actually had in a dating app. I mean, that's online. That should be on easy mode. Don't see it. I just see whining and complaining like this. And I'm just glad I made the connection to the economy. Like, man, the economy, the UK, if this is true and universal, you're not going to recover. Not going to happen. Ass Bucket, $2. You leave married with children, a low quality show. It was good. It was good. But it was insight into a lowbrow, lower middle income family, right? Reed Schwartzer, $5. How do you make women happy? You drag them kicking and screaming towards happiness. Ryan Stone. It's sad how true it is. Yep. Ryan, despite being a Canadian, is an incredibly intelligent human being. He's very insightful. Here's the question. He's not wrong. After you guys bust your ass off, right? After it takes 35 years for you to get that stable, concrete foundation by which to build the rest of your Maslow's hierarchy of needs life on. After you bust your ass off doing that, you're going to be exhausted. The boomers could do it at the age of 22, right? You were like tremendously more effort and labor went into it. You got the energy to drag somebody kicking and screaming. I'll say it again. If I ever am single again, I am not dating. I'm paying a girl to have sex with me, and then she's going the fuck home. I am not pulling teeth. I'm not sitting there listening to boring fucking shit. It's here's the money, go home. I don't think you guys got the energy for it. I'm not criticizing you. You're going to need at least to rest up a bit. Had a client took on a tremendous amount of education. A foreigner went to college in Canada. He has to get his sleep right. He's exhausted. He's going to need at least 2 years to recover, let alone get in a mental and financial state where he could go and consider a family. You just got to rest up, man. There's got to be a rest. And by that time, you got to bring someone who's going to make your life less. Are you going to bring someone who's argumentative and combative? To the previous comment before, where Asian gal and the black gal said, we don't want men in our life. Yeah, fine. I don't want to force anyone to do anything. Like, are you here willingly? You are cool. You're unsure whether you want to be on. Are you quiet? Are you looking at your phone? Well, okay, fine. I'm dropping you. No. You go through all that hell now, and you got to play these mind games where, well, do you think would you have dated me if I was fat? You liking thin women in heels, that's just a psychological conditioning and a fetish you've been told to have. Oh God, no. You better I don't do coffee. No. Simple. You want to hang out with me or not? Whatever. Reen, looks like you go swimming. Hey, I'm going swimming. Do you want to go swimming? I'm going to go the paradoxical swingy rope in Rapid City. There's a swinging rope that goes over the creek, and it's a fun time, and I can't even get my regular friends to go on swingy rope. You want to come? Yeah, do you want? You either do or you don't. If you want to, come with. You don't? Fine. Let me know. Don't, for whatever ulterior motive, come with and then begrudgingly go off swinging rope or get to swinging. I don't want to go on swinging rope. Or go to dinner. I don't like this food. Oh, fuck off. I used to be fat. Would you have gone out with me when I was fat? No. Well, I think, okay, get the fuck out of here. Oh, and you have student loans. Okay. All right. And you're going to tell me how the real world works. I'm sure you have opinions that are political and social in nature. Oh, just thinking about it. Oh my God, no. Reen, $2. Nagging and complaining is a woman's master baton. A master baton. Because they're in a relay race, right, Reen? It's sad. Again, I do know quality gals. But man, when I see on the internet, and I know negative news sells more, but this is why I'm like, why is the BBC running with this? Really, let me turn this around to women. After reading through that article, and assuming the article accurately reflected women's opinions on things, fat or not, right? Whether they're overweight or not. Why would men deal? Why? Why would a guy deal with this? Why would a guy have this conversation? Why would a guy, the guy is physically attracted to thin, attractive women. Why would he go through this mental hurdle to get sex or an intimate relationship? That's the problem. You men just want... Exactly. Oh, here's the money. Suck this. Go home. You're just shallow. You can't get a real one. You got to pay for it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do have to pay for it. Just like everyone else. I'm just getting a hell of a better deal. Nick Corcadile is €2. No need for sugar pill women. Not like her are unicorns. No need for sugar pill women. Not like her are unicorns. Yes. Which, if women are interested, if there's women out there who secretly do want men, and you're not on this leftist, feminist, girl boss, and pronoun, if you are a younger gal, and secretly, because I know you can't be public about it, secretly you like men, right? You don't have to do that much. You have to be attractive, physically attractive, because all romantic relationships are based on a foundation of lust. And that's a good thing. Okay, so be physically attractive. And then you know what? It's this simple. Don't be a pain in the ass. That's it. I mean, there's more. Yeah, you could cook and uh, I guess you could be exploratory in sex. I mean, you can make him a sandwich or what. I mean, have a clean house, right? No, get your finances together. There's a lot of things, but the two main ones is be attractive and do not be a pain in the ass. Because here's your competition. All right. If here's another one that would, if you really get in, this would give you a huge event. Like sex. Now that's hard. Maybe you don't like sex. A lot of women don't. Tell Aaron, learn to like split pea soup. But if there was a way, because for what this is the thickest of forests of mental illness I'll never go into. I don't know what demons you wrestle with sex slaves. I really don't mentally. But if there was a way you could get the fuck over it and actually enjoy sex, all right, that is a tremendous advantage for you getting the guy you want. And I know, obviously, very key on the right guy. I'm sure that will do that. But it's not that hard to be a unicorn. It just isn't. Robert Archer, North Dakota agent in the field for $50 generous. The money of which, what will the money go? Oh, I got to get groceries today. I've just been eating out since I got back about 4 or 5 days ago. Like, oh, yeah, I better go to the grocery store. The grocery stores close early. I've actually lost weight because I'm a significant distance out of town. The grocery stores close about 9-10 p.m. So if I'll drive back unconsciously, and then I get home like, oh shit, there's no food in the house, and the grocery stores are closed. So the closest thing is the gas station, which is not the healthiest. Rob for $50 generous. First started out young Bronx Stomper, looked at them old men like folks looked at Batman. Most had 200 broken bones in their name. That made the stories that later became legend. These ladies could learn a thing or two from the old timers. Right. Those guys went through shit. My old man used to, if any of you have ever been to Glacier National Park, long ago, my old man drove the red buses that are still there today. They had these old, I think they're from the 1930s, and they always maintained them. They've swapped out the engines and all that and maintained them, but you have these old classic 1930s buses. And in 68, 69, my old man drove the buses out there for summer job. And he was telling me about this guy called Logan the Legend, and just the stories that came out where, could you make a run to the Canadian, was it Prince Edward National Park, whatever's on the other side of the Canadian border, and have some beers and make it back and get a girl. And then Logan the Legend, I guess he was there for a while, so he actually had a place out there, and he always had these women. Now it's a little more fun to get your bones broken bronco riding, but could you make it up Ahern Pass? Were you the first one through the pass in summer because the snow was melting? There's stories, there was suffering. And that makes a human being more interesting. You give me these blank slates, spoiled, looked like it was all liberal white women. Oh no, Bernicia was the black gal. Okay. All first world spoiled women with worthless degrees. I took a pill. Oh my God, society treats me differently. You're a blank slate. I mean, I know genetically you're human, but you have no mind. You didn't learn a damn thing. But yeah, talk to a Bronco rider? Absolutely. Talk to that old man hiking Sandia Peak every day? Absolutely. And that's one of those things where you shut the fuck up and let them talk. Green shorts are $2. Yes, feelings are more important than they're like, yes, it is. The perfect mental state is the most important thing in their minds. I've said that before. It is it's almost a hardwired setting. I was going to say it's an addiction. It's a hardwired setting. They cannot have their mental peace disturbed with reality. They would rather suffer in the real world and live in a delusional one in their mind that someday Ryan Gosling is right around that corner. And remember the gal that donated all the money to the fake Brad Pitt? She was like 57 or something. Yeah, they'll believe it to the detriment of their lives. And you know whose problem that is? Theirs. Not our problem, man. Not our problem. And when you're that delusional, no one's, men they're really like, oh, fuck this shit. No. Have fun. Bye. Bye. You know, I just feel that men are shallow. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, just why not encourage it? Yeah, the patriarchy sucks. Men sure are shallow. Would you like to go out with me? Oh, no, I'm gay. I'm totally the gays. Yeah. Totes my goats. Yeah, I gotta run some flags through Target. Yeah, I gotta go to the gay club. There's not a gay club for 800 miles. Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, driving down to Denver. Yep. Sorry. Oh, if I were straight, I'd be marrying you in half a second. Matter of fact, if you gained a little more weight, that'd be hot. Oh, Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. Average lazy person. I'm tired of this grandpa reality. Well, that's too damn bad. I'm tired of this grandpa reality. Well, that's too damn bad. Yeah, well, it is. That's the irony. Is they're howling at the moon. You girls thinking you're going to convince men to like your fat ass is howling at the moon. Waste your whole life howling at the moon. Do it. Okay? You got a lot of guys, oh, women are whore, I can't buy, there's no reason, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you got to ask out more girls. You got to get shot down. Did you do that? And that would be the pure stoic like achievement where you accept and acknowledge your statistical chances are low and you ask girls out, a lot of them, and then you get rejected the majority of the time. Right? And you're okay with that. You're not howling at the moon. You're taking action. And then you'll get the occasional date or two. Right? That's what I want my guys and the gals in there who tune in. I want you to get to that level where you acknowledge this. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but you're not going to let it bother you. You're still going to take some shots when the opportunity presents itself. But not once am I like, you just get angry and riled and, oh, women aren't going out with me, those stupid bitches. It's because I'm 5'8". Oh, like the short thing. I'm shortish. Well, yeah, women like tall guys. Don't get angry about it. That's just what it is. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. There's only one thing I dread, not to be worthy of my sufferings. Viktor E. Frankl. Yep. His book is short and good. Wisdom again for $2. Cappy, got any of that white girl blood in stock? No, but you can just go buy it on the street in Edina. I mean, where do you live, Wisdom? I mean, it depends. There might be a more close by supplier. You can go to, what was the towns? I mean, if you're in Denver, it's Castle Rock. Illinois, it's Winnetka. My latest book, I just start slamming on all the different states, Edinas. I looked up like richest areas and I called up people. I'm like, hey, what's like the snobby area of Boston? So there's an Edina supplier, white blood girl near you. Just go to the rich, arrogant part of town, right? You gotta go to it can't just be rich. It's gotta be rich and arrogant. Like the real rich area of Phoenix is Paradise Valley. That's where the real money is. You don't hear about it because all the assholes who are nowhere near as rich as the people in Paradise Valley are in Scottsdale. So Scottsdale, like if you're in the South, Scottsdale, there you go. If you're in San Diego, it's La Jolla. Okay. Not Del Mar. Del Mar's the real money. La Jolla, that's where you go to get the rich white girl blood. Robert S. $5. Speaking of Minnesota, they owe the feds $113 million because they screwed up medical billing codes, mistake economy working as intended. Don't forget all the Somalis that did their was it a Medicaid fraud or something like that? It cost the state, I think it was $200 million. Oh. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. In my 30s and definitely in the I just want to survive stage. Oh, I'm in my 30s and definitely in the I just want to survive stage. I'm working too hard just to get hit with the female Trojan horse tactic. Well, come on, Wiz, you should be more street smart than that. How are women allowing a Trojan horse? How? I'm not saying you be overly cynical or pessimistic of women, but you should just they got to prove it to you, right? Like come on. I was in my 20s. I remember setting up multiple dates. I was in my young 20s, so I was still working college. It happened twice where they came over on dispatch, escort Charlie. I'm like, Charlie, go ahead. Like, can you give us a call at dispatch? And I call up. I say, what's up? Like, there's a gal called Susie. You're supposed to go on a date with her. I'm like, oh shit. That's right. Because I just got to the point that women were going to stand you up. I didn't assume it. Or that I wouldn't assume that they would show up. Twice in my younger 20s. Come on, Wiz. You know it's going to be flaky flake. You show up to the coffee store with your laptop. You go to a band that you were going to go see anyway, and you have no expectations, right? They got to prove it to you. Your life is too short. Your brain is too there for you to come on, Wisdom. Remember what Obama did to your people? Remember? Hope, right? Don't fall for that bait. There's no hope. There's performance. There's empiricism. Did she show up? Yes or no? Oh, she showed up. Oh, okay, cool. But just assume they're not. Assume there's something wrong because there usually is. I'm not being pessimistic on that. Like 9 out of 10 times, there's some like, oh, yeah. I had a buddy start dating this cute girl. And then he all of a sudden got strep throat. How did I get strep throat? And so he asked her, says, hey, did you have strep throat? Because he is actually kind of a secluded individual. He doesn't have a lot of run-in with people. He's the only human he ran into. And she says, no, but my son did. Oh, so 1, you have a son, and 2, I got strep throat. Dude, man, if you really want women that much, you're gonna have to go overseas. But while you're here playing home games, you just have no expectations. You just have no expectations, man. And that will you get hit hard with the female Trojan horse tactics. You are letting that happen. You still got hope. What was it? Watch the excerpt. I think it's for free on YouTube where Blythe and Spears is spelled Speirs, where he goes up to Spears says, sir, I hid. I didn't attack the Germans. And Spears says, you know why you hid, Blythe? Because you still have hope. You still think you're alive. Well, Blythe, until you realize you're dead, there is no hope. And you will not be able to operate like it's one of the best fucking speeches ever. Shit, I think I even have a video on it with Captain Ronald Spears as the thumbnail. There is no hope, Wisda. You're already dead. It was great because it's true. And then once you realize there is no hope, right? Once you realize it's up to women to prove to you, like, yeah, I am going to show up and I am going to be interesting, then you'll be able to operate as a fully functional male dating person can or would. You go do your thing. You're hungry, right, Wisdom? You go to your favorite restaurant. Go there at like 4:30. Tell the girl to show up at 5. That way you get your meal and you pay for it, and then you have dessert with her or something like that, right? If she shows up, cool. If not, you break out your laptop. There is always other stuff to do. Wisdom, if you haven't got my book, Zero World Problems, go get it. Because there's a ton of other shit you can be doing that's outside the purview. I do mention minimalism in your finances to get all that other stuff. That's standard. But there's new shit. A lot of stuff you can do to tidy up your home and get your standards of living up. If you can prevent women from wasting your time in your teens and 20s, which they will, if you can get it that you always bring your laptop with, if you could get it where it's like, yeah, why don't you come over? I'll make you dinner, right? And then you're working on the home. Those minutes and hours all start adding up. You could still date, like doing, hey, why don't you come over to my place? I'll make you dinner. Right. And then you're at home. What are you doing? You're working on drainage. You're perfecting your home. She doesn't show up. Cool. You got yourself a good meal made anyway with some leftovers now. You drink some wine and you build yourself a bar or you put it in the toilet, right? You do not have time to be driving an hour without a laptop to sit at some loud bar where she shows up and she brings her BFF. You don't have time for that, man. That's 2 hours of your time wasted. Then she wants you to pay for drinks, which rarely happened, but I did have that happen once where she brought her friends. And I was like, I'll pay for my drink. Get the fuck out. L Monster, I don't believe that all women are selfish. No, but I'm waiting to see that empiricism, that data, that reality to come through the media. All I hear from media, and now from a professional source like the BBC, is women will never be happy, will never stop bitching and whining. It will never end. But there's still some women who like men, don't know if they love them, but there's still some hope in some states. There are 160 million women here. Okay, some are kids and some are old-time retired people. But there's 70 million dating age women, let's just say. Out of that, yes, there's some women who like men. Some they want to be traditional house. Yes, they're exceptionally rare. Go get my book, The Book of Numbers, Analyze an ROI in the Pursuit of Women, and look how rare it is. That's why I don't say don't give up. I know I said give up hope. Don't give up a smart, effective dating strategy that will work. You can ask out girls in person. You can use dating apps, just throw your line in. I've talked about this many times before. It is not wasting your time. It is being shrewd and calculating. It is having no expectations and numbers game. And there's not a high chance, but a significant chance you will find one. And it won't take as much time and effort as you would using traditional measures. So if you do it intelligently using a strategy designed for today's modern dating environment, I can't guarantee it will work. At the end of the book, the Book of Numbers, I give you a 50-50 shot at being happily married till death do you part. So there is going to be, you will have some success. You will get laid, but I still can't guarantee it. But it's not as hopeless as you think. Meat Stick Murderer, 10 generous dollars. I married my wife when she was 18 in 1999. Wow. Better when I was in the military and she was in high school. Literally had to get her off the vine 25 years ago. Can't imagine how it is now. Oh, so you got her, you were the first one. Oh God, I can't. Yeah. I've been with the same gal for about 15 years now. I can't imagine what it's like. Well, I can. I got friends who date and I get field reports from my clients. But like I said, I'm not. Think back to Navarone. I'd rather not, sir. Dorian Jungi, 5 Swiss francs. Is it even worth it buying property in Switzerland? Costs over 800,000 for at least a 900 square. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Swiss market, Swiss housing market. I mean, you've got to live there for a while. I know a buddy, I guess their mortgages, it's all interest. Like you don't pay down your principal. And that was 10 years ago. I visited him. I don't know. Do you want a house? Do you need a house? You look like a younger fella. Do you have the money to afford it? Because at the end of the day, you'll still own the property, so it'll be somewhat of a nest egg. One thing I know about Switzerland, I'd almost say it doesn't matter where you buy property because it's such a small country. Well, I want to be close to Zurich. Anywhere you live in Switzerland, you're close to Zurich. Okay, maybe go on the far west side. It's just like there's like one main road. The mountains are here. The lake is there. There's Zurich. Oh, oh no, wait. Zurich is on. Hang on. Basel? Hang on. Your capital is on the east side. Right? So, Zurich. Geneva. That's what. Okay, yeah. Zurich is your capital. There's Basel, and then Geneva is on the east side. Isn't that? Am I looking at the wrong? Isn't this Lake Geneva? It says Lac du Nat. Where am? Oh, there it is. There's Geneva. Okay, looking at a different link. There's Bern. And there's Zurich. Was it Bern was the capital? Hang on. Capital. I should know this. I'm kind of Bern. Bern's the capital. Or I was in Bern. Zurich. Is that where I rented the car? Yeah, I flew into Zurich. Yeah, that's right. I rented the car there. Oh, yeah, and then we dropped down to get down to Italy. All right, so all coming back. Yeah, I don't know if does it make sense to buy one place or the other. Modern wagey, $2 cap. How did corp wage cuckery differ 90s to today? There was less internet. You still dealt with Karens, and in the 90s, you didn't have the internet. Like you thought you were just having really bad luck. And little did you realize that Karens back then were discriminating against men. HR was horrible. Even worse, people thought HR was like a legit field. Like there was some veracity to the study. You even had things like it was rare, but they were still doing handwriting analysis, looking at your penmanship. And then what else? Yeah, and then your boomers were in your early to mid leadership stage. They're in their 40s and 50s by that time. And I don't know if they were consciously necessarily doing it or if it just naturally evolved. Like, hey, we can get all these, college educated kids by lying to them. They lied about job descriptions. They lied about titles. So that was already happening. I think it was their final form of boomer leadership. And they just continued on with that model. But yes, that was it. It really wasn't. There was just more confusion. You didn't have Josh Fluke to say, hey, this is bullshit, leave. Yeah, me and my generation walked right into it. Right the fuck into it. Macan, 279 Canadian. Tetsuo. Love this intro, Cappy. Yeah, I like it. I wish I could do more podcasts. It's just there's too much. It takes a while. And I got another article to do after this. I'll be on with Chad Elkins later tonight. I got to go to the gym. I want to sit in a coffee store. And Wisda again for $5. That having busy work mindset has helped out a lot. I rarely get triggered anymore. I always have backup. Good for you. Good. Look, every one of you, listen to me. You do not have time for any group of people, female or not, to consume this amount of concern and care and time in your life, let alone anger you and put you in a bad mood, right? This is why I stopped listening to politics. Right? If you get that book, Zero World Problems, okay, there is a ton of, and because I only recently went through it myself with my own house, there is a lot of work to do that if you do it now, it's going to save you multifold that amount of time. There's a positive rate of return on these things. And a lot of it you've already heard of before, which is why in the first part of the book, I say you guys who regularly tune in, you can skip to this part of the book where the new stuff comes in. But there's so much stuff like, do you know about a will and estate? Wisda, do you have assets? You do. What happens if you die? Right? Well, that might be a while. It might be tomorrow. What about your prawn collection, Wisda? What if someone did people, what if they grab your computer, huh? Have you thought about that? Yeah. It's amazing what prompts men to action. But it's a whole bunch of stuff, like, especially if you're a homeowner, there's a lot of stuff to do. But once you do it, here's what you're doing. We all are building our own battleships, right? And we're going to go out to war and we're building our battleships. this not only discusses, okay, yeah, you need the basics of a battleship, but the difference between a battleship that's going to win a battle or you're going to enjoy it versus one that just is functional is how much tailoring did you do? How much optimizing did you do? Did you really get the best guns? Did you rifle the guns the best way? What kind of targeting system you got? What's the interior of your battleship like? Is it nice? Do you enjoy the inside of your battleship? And there's so much work to do. So much work. And I estimate at minimum 3 years of 20 to 30 hours per week of work, like a part-time job, a serious part-time job. When you get to the end of all that shit, dude, I've been playing video games now. I've been watching cartoons and movies now. I can go to the gym regularly now. I can keep up with this. Although I do have a little bit of a backlog in requests. I can write another book if I want right now. It's all this shit that you don't realize that you're doing, just keeping up with it. A lot of people, where did the time go? It's all this petty shit that adds up that you never knock out permanently once and for all. And I strongly recommend you boys and girls too. It's not just men's lives we're looking to improve. Zero world problems. And that will give you a to-do list, a bone that you will chew on for years. And not if, but when, surprise, a woman cancels a date or doesn't show up or I'm busy or I got my best friend broke up with her boyfriend and she really needs me right now. Cool. See you. Bye. You're at home consolidating all your files. What? Oh, you have to read and find out. All right. The next story. Pull it up. I put it on my phony phone. Come on. Travel to the world of Minnesota. Violence interrupter hurt in gunfire exchange on Minneapolis's north side. The north side of Minneapolis is the bad part of town. I'm not going to pull it up here. We don't need it. And you say, what's a violence interrupter? Okay, so you had the riots and the protests in the Twin Cities, 2020? And Minneapolis had a referendum as to whether or not get rid of the police because the police are bad because most of the citizens in Minneapolis are criminals. It's true. It came to 48 to 52. That's how close they got to getting rid of their police department. I think the mayor and the city council people realized, oh shit, we will have anarchy and no town if we don't have a police department, if they are disbanded. That's how close they came to getting rid of the police. 1 in 2 people in Minneapolis actually think they can have a society without police. Okay? So in this discussion about whether we needed police, of course your liberal white women from the suburbs came in and says, we don't need police. We need social workers. And they were going to have these ambassadors or emissaries, and they called them violence interrupters. Now, apparently they've hired some. Everybody who has their head out of their ass, laugh their ass off, says, what are you going to do? You're going to send Karen to stop a gunfight? Well, apparently they did. Violence interrupter hurt in gunfire exchange on Minneapolis's north side. The founder of Minneapolis-based violence interrupter group 21 Days of Peace. What? Sorry, no offense to our gay community. What gay freaking lame ass shit is that? How much government money did you get? 21 days of no interrupted peace? What? What's your background? I care about the Twin Cities and I grew up here. We got to work with the community. You need the military to go in. You need no holds barred cops to come in. There needs to be a little cracking of skulls. I'm not saying death and I'm not saying manslaughter. What is it? The Team America World Police. The only thing that can fuck a pussy is a dick. You need a bunch of dicks. But I know you're pro-crime, you're pro-criminal, And what will all the sociology liberal white women do? They just, yeah, we just need more therapy. You need force. You need, no joke, send in the military. Lock it down. Bet you there won't be no crime. But you know what? Nah. You guys got this. This is not our problem. This is your problem. You guys got this. Confirmed one of his own was hurt in a shooting Monday night. It happened just after 9:30 p.m. near 36th and Penn Avenues North, and a man in his 30s was taken to the hospital, according to police. He was recovering at home as of Tuesday afternoon after being shot in the shoulder and grazed in the neck, said 21 Days of Peace founder Reverend. The Reverends. Are you black? I want to know. Are you black, Jerry? Are you the self-proclaimed leader of the community? Are you fucking other women that aren't your wife? Oh, I'm sure you care, Jerry. Reverend. Dude, why not just say senator? Why not just say councilman? Just come on. Where'd you go to seminary school? I'm sure yeah, okay. Don't worry. A reverend in the poor part of town, he's going to take care of everything because that's worked so well the past 60 fucking years. They said he was fine, sedated a bit, so probably still in shock, he continued. Thankfully, it's not life-threatening, said Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara. Chief O'Hara called the intersection a problem location, which is why violent interrupters were there on Monday evening. Did you have armor? You're not carrying guns. You have violence interrupters. Oh, my God. The idea itself is stupid, but to volunteer for that? You don't carry weapons, right? You don't have armor. You're going to do good with your feelings of love and happiness. You've been listening to the liberal white women a little bit too much out of Wyzetta. They had a barbecue up there for the community, and then afterwards there was an exchange of gunfire. Oh, see, barbecues, that just brings people together. Not fatherly discipline from a father figure. Not authority. No, we got to do more community walk out on the night, liberal leftist girl boss horse shit. I gotten the message that everybody clocked out. We're through for the night, McAfee said. The last couple of violence interrupters were getting ready to leave when more than one person emerged from the alley and started shooting, hitting his team member who returned fire. Wait a minute, he is carrying a gun. Hey! I'll be. Did you guys grow a microscopic testy? But wait, I bet you guys vote Democrat, and guns are bad. You know whose problem this is? It's a you problem. We don't know who it came from, he said. I'll tell you this much. One of the police officers called me and he said, I'm glad he had a vest. Oh! I am shocked. You're being empirical. It's almost like you're in a war zone. Interesting. Are you forming a real gang now that's armed with armor? Are you starting to get close to reality of what's required? Now I kind of wonder if you have a carry conceal and you're going in with armor. Are you deputized? What's going on? You know what really ought to happen is the person that person shot, that person should be arrested for, are we going to arrest this person? Illegal discharge of a firearm, right? We got to give it the good old Minnesota treatment. How dare you defend yourself, right? I'm glad he had a vest on because if he hadn't had a vest on, it'd be quite different. O'Hara said he couldn't speak to whether police had suspects on Tuesday. He believed at least 3 different guns that were involved. A few dozen rounds were exchanged. No one else was hurt, but bullets hit a nearby home, making it into the bedroom of a child inside, police said. The scene was just steps from where 6-year-old Ania Allen was shot and killed 4 years ago. This incident raised questions over whether violence interrupters are allowed to be armed. Well, they should be. I mean, cut my bullshit out. Yeah, if you guys are going to put yourself in bad situations, you better be armed and you better be armored. And he is. I mean, wow. I'm just surprised, Reverend. That's a logical, common sense decision you just made there. Holy shit. Wait, the violence interrupters isn't a bunch of liberal white women from Edina that just go around and give all the people hugs? Violence. Wait, isn't firing back violence? I'm confused. McAfee said his policy is no firearms on the job, but they were off the clock. There's a lot of unanswered questions. See, look, they really, hey, should they be armed? Oh my God. You see the problem? That's the cult of Minneapolis think. The criminals can shoot and own guns all they want, but then you got, okay. My criticism of the efficacy of the violence interrupters aside, what you're trying to do is noble. I'll grant you that. Right? But you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation. They should be armed, but they don't. Minneapolis and Minnesotans in general do not like the good guys. They like the bad guys. And Minnesota women masturbate to the bad guys. They fantasize about the bad guys. You shot someone? Oh, my husband who works at Cargill and makes $250,000 a year. I know he worked really hard at all that, but he's never shot anybody. Why would they shoot this man in the first place? We ain't been doing nothing at all but serving, he said. 21 Days of Peace was not working under city contract on Monday, and O'Hara confirmed the victim was a lawful gun owner. Wait, what? What? There's nothing that I have right now that suggests he did anything wrong, the chief said. We are asking violence interrupters to go to the places where we're having ongoing problems with violence. That's the reality. Just go to, wait, so I got a question. McAfee said his policy is no firearms on the job, but they were off the clock. So when they are violence interrupters, they're even more exposed. Hey, go into there into the dangerous part of town and stop the violence. But you're not supposed to be armed. But off duty, when you're not under the flag of the violence interrupters, then you're actually armed. The fuck out of here. Maybe you should go across the city and the river to the University of Minnesota Sociology Department and see what the latest and liberal white women think you should do to solve this problem. They got the answer. McAfee said this was not the first time he or his team has been shot at, but it's the first time someone was hurt. No arrests were made as of this report. Man, oh. I do not envy you, violence interrupters. I got to admit, if you volunteer for that, you're pretty brave and you're very noble. You're dumb as fuck. You're dumb as, and I would ask you, does that community really deserve your interruption? Would you give for that community, really, come on. Does that community, I'm not talking the black neighborhood, everyone knows, that's not what I'm saying. Does Minneapolis in general, does that town, do the people of Minneapolis deserve your life? They're ungrateful. No one's like raising their kids right. Half of them want no law or order. Really? What's your life like? I understand if like you kind of grew up there, this was your town, your neighborhood, and your family. I'd be like Donovan Sharp, getting your fucking family out of there. What has that city done for you? Because I was there, right? Actually, I wasn't. We're looking at an apartment not too far away. It was on the north side, off of Broadway. What has Minneapolis done for you? I don't mean in a welfare sort of sense. What good the community done for you? All I got in Minneapolis was you're a fascist and you traffic and bullshit parking tickets. It's not a friendly community. There's no community. I don't know what you fight. Frankly, I don't know what you're fighting for. Maybe you guys got kids or something. I get them the fuck out. But I wish you the best. Fintaji, €2. Free money. Yes, free money. All right. Let me go to emails. Movie recommendation. It's from Jimmy Bones. He says, check out the movie Brat 1997. The movie Brat is the best Russian movie of all time. I'll send $20 in a super chat. Just because you read this message, no shout out or video required. No, that's fine, man. I don't know. I may check it out. I'll mark it. Compliment. This comes from someone will keep anonymous. Aaron, in the office, listening to your video, how Karen's made America poor. You, sir, are awesome. I absolutely love and respect your economic viewpoint. I've been saying all the same stuff you have been pointing out, but without data. Not an economist by training. Keep the videos coming. Well, thank you very much. I'll keep him anonymous. I'll send him a link to this video. Let me respond to him so I don't forget. Perfect. All right. This is just cleaning up the mail. Did I do this one? Match group getting sued for free. Do I want to go through? It's almost noon. I want to get my Brave A. Aaron, I just love how much you trash the artard suburban culture. This is in the Twin Cities. I grew up in the upper middle class Twin Cities suburbs, and yeah, it was nice as a kid in the 90s, but seriously, what's the long-term benefit? When I was a teenage man in Rosemont in the aughts, a hot teen girl I like was like, wow, your dad made enough money for this house in the suburbs. Me and my friends are going to come over and service both you and your dad. We'll do whatever you want to get those resources. And he says, when I was a teenage man in Rosemont in the aughts, a teen girl wasn't like, well, right. You pretty much nailed it, Aaron, with the, did women ever really like men that much? That goes through my mind on a daily basis, man. Nailed it. Right. If girls like you that much, they would like you. You'd know. My grandfather actually built Section 8 housing back in the day, where in the 80s where I worked. Back in the aughts, the welfare trash had a bigger and better TV than I had when my dad was a top earning software engineer. Democrats ruined the balance of everything. I'm broke now, but when I get on my feet, I'll send you $1,000. Well, okay, I don't need $1,000. And he responded, haha, so true. I know you're Gen X and older than me, but I'd literally kill to be your age in like 1993 when girls were at their hottest. They were hot, but they weren't the hottest. I think the 80s probably were the girls were not. Well, the 50s are probably where women were their hottest. Remember how cute and feminine girls looked as a kid in the 1990s? You're so spot on about the fuel for men to succeed being taken away. In the past 15 years, there's like zero incentive for young men to leave the house anymore. I remember even in like 2009, you'd go to Red Lobster or Outback Steakhouse, and it was like an episode of Baywatch. What, really? Were those the restaurants where the hot girls were at? I remember long enough ago that it was bad form to ask out the waitress because they were asked out all the time. And it was well, wait till you go to the nightclub or the bar, right? Because there'd be hot girls at the bar or the nightclub. Well, now a lot of times the only place you see an attractive woman is when you go to a restaurant or the coffee store or whatever. And I'm putting the kibosh on that. I don't care where the girl is. Oh, you shouldn't bother her at work. No, ask the girl out. Be polite about it. Don't be a dick. But yeah, you can't ask them out at work. You can't ask them out at the gym. Don't ask. No. Somewhere we're going to start asking them out. And right now, I think you get away with it because it's just of the ballsy nature. I'm like, you single? No, I have a boyfriend. Okay. Because that's 70% of your interactions are going to be. I did not know it was Red Lobster or the Outback Steakhouse. If I saw like 60% of that these days, I'd be so much more motivated to get off my ass. Yes, men are plants. Hot women, not women, hot women are the sun. You want us to sprout and bloom and produce fruit? Well, there better be some beautiful sunny days. All right. Come on, Aaron. Patrick from Lithuania here. I can't find how old you've turned. I'm 50, but it damn near must be 50 by now. Anyway, congratulations. You've been a great source of amusement and peace of mind to me over the years, even if I don't get a chance to simp in your super chats because of time zones. Anyway, I watched your video about private equity bros and how they shitify everything, even your dear precious Yahoo Mail. And I just got to bust your balls a bit. That one is a you problem. I know you're a boomer with computers, but even my grandma could figure out the 3 buttons it takes to migrate to Proton, where all the cool kids are. I have to stick with YouTube because I have a bunch of different, that's where I get my notifications from whatever, my mortgage company and stuff. And to go through all my online accounts and to switch it is going to take like a week of work. You're right. I probably should. It's a project that I should probably take on, but right now it's just fuck, man. I got to have some fun too, you know? I know you're a boomer with computers, but even my grandma could figure it out. And just to incentivize your greedy ass a little further, I'm attaching a gift card so you can buy a whole year of premium plans so that you don't run out of megabytes with the free plan allows you. If you can't figure out how it works, let me know. I'll throw a free online consult. No, I appreciate, guys. Don't buy me gifts. Another person bought me a gift. He spent good money on a massage thing. He says, go to this massage parlor. Don't buy me any gifts because I can't guarantee I'm going to use them. I know I have a nice, luxurious life, but my life is also very scheduled out because very important to me is my hiking and motorcycle riding and getting out and having fun. Almost view that as a job. I got to do my regular work, but then I also insist on living my life and going hiking and motorcycle riding, having that fun. And you say, but it's a free massage. Like, yeah, it's great. Or here's a gift certificate for some food. Now I have to do something. And I can't guarantee with my schedule that I'm able to get to it. So if you want, super chat donations. What you know what you can do? You know what y'all can do? You want to help out Cappy. You want to give him money? I'm going to cut you even better deal than that. I'm going to make it you could give Cappy money without it costing you money. How can you do that, Cappy? That sounds amazing. All you got to do, you really want to help the Capmeister out? Use my Amazon affiliate link to buy all your online shopping. That's it. I even have a convenient link. You go to my old website. It's called olderbrother.com/donate. Okay, olderbrother.com/donate. And I got the links to different things. At the bottom is the Amazon affiliate link. You're not going to remember the Amazon link that I have linked below unless you want to bookmark it. You can remember olderbrother.com. Look for the donate button or just type in /donate. Click on the Amazon banner. Do all your shopping there. Right? That'll and that will, it doesn't cost you anything more. Amazon pays me a commission for everything you buy through that website. It's about a 4 or 5% commission, and it doesn't cost you anything more, right? So that is a way to help me out. That is the most efficient, convenient, tremendous way. It's understated, you got to get into the habit. But if you want to do me a solid, get into the habit of going to that website. Cappy, what if I got the app on my phone? You should take your phone and smash it with a sledgehammer. Phones are bad. You never use the app. You go on a computer like an old Gen Xer does, and you click on the olderbrother.com/donate link with the Amazon banner. That's how you do it. That's how you show Cappy some love. Stop yelling in clouds. Get with the times. Hope it doesn't end up in your spam box. I am going to respond to him. Let him know. Read this on my latest Coronachan podcast titled Women Never Will Be Happy episode. Best Aaron. Boom. Okay, I got that. Come on, send. Send. There we go. Put that in there. I got that. We got that. We got all this. Got that. Got a bunch of things in the mail. But those are all requests, not fan mail. I think we're good to go. We can log out of that. let's round off with some remaining super chats. Yeah, we got one. Finto G, as in geese. Finto G. Well, what is that, though? I'm not searching for. I'm sure if I looked it up, it means something. That's it for the super chats. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Links to all the books and courses and all that below. Ladies, I hope you find happiness. I really do. But we out. Not our problem. Like crime in Minneapolis, your happiness, not our problem. Good luck to all of you figuring this shit out. I'm sure, just like women's happiness with the journalism and all the professors they quoted, I'm sure college academic liberal white women with the PhDs have the answer to both. All right? Those spinster, mean, angry, feminist women with PhDs in the social sciences, they have the answer to women's happiness and to solve crime, not just in Minneapolis, but all over. So if you would kindly go consult those liberal white women, okay, with their PhDs in the social sciences, they will solve your problem. And if they don't, that just means you don't have enough money. Okay? We're out of here. Toodles.